Being productive can sometimes feel like something very hard to do. And with more stimulants vying for our attention than ever before, it's easy to get lost in the ocean of unproductiveness. It's a place both me and my brother Brandon have found ourselves in before, and today, one of us will be wading back into those treacherous waters. That person being me, hence the mustache and stocking cap. It's kind of my alternate reality lazy doppelganger look. And with it, I'll be showing you all the bad habits it took me years to fix. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, Brandon, my brother, will be showing you all the good habits he's built up over the years to help him become a buff dude. It's the unproductive lifestyle versus the productive lifestyle challenge, and it begins now.
When I first started working out at 14, I would go to the gym with my dad and brother and walk around looking at what other people were doing and try to copy what I saw, not having any clue what it was for or what I was doing. And naturally, it was easy to gravitate towards the simpler things like curls, cable extensions, and more curls. But the more I learned about working out, I quickly saw that to get the most out of your workouts was to, you guessed it, have a plan. Now this isn't always easy because you might ask yourself, well, what is the right plan? And that was another thing I had to figure out. So I asked Arnold, and he answered me in the form of a Flex Magazine article lining out all his workouts. So naturally, I started using his workouts and it immediately gave me a purpose for going to the gym. I knew exactly what I was doing on which days and what exercises I had to perform with the sets and reps all lined out. I mean, it was magical. Now, although we wouldn't recommend jumping into a competitive bodybuilding workout 6 days a week split when you first start out, we would recommend to start with the basic full body 3 days a week plan, working with the most important movements like squats, deadlifts, bench press, and overhead press. But however you start or continue, there always needs to be a plan of action.
Will you look at this guy? I mean, I could do that too if I use consistency and hard work, but I just don't got time. I'm way too busy. I'm gonna play some online video games. While the productive dude has been in the gym, you've been using every excuse you can muster in order to find a way not to be in the gym. Chances are it's just as hard for him to fit it into his routine as it is for you. And over time, the procrastination will only develop into discontent and jealousy as you look to that person and think, I'll never look as good as him, or I'll never be able to accomplish what they've accomplished, never realizing you could have if you'd put in the same hours that they had originally.
Learning the value of the kitchen. I love to cook, I love good food, but being in the kitchen and trying to figure out good tasting and healthy recipes can be pretty daunting. You have to look up the recipes, make a list of the foods you need, and to be honest, I don't feel like trying to find saffron, goji, truffles, black garlic, and caviar or some other rare as hell ingredient. So what happens? You end up making the same meals over and over again, which can get pretty boring, and all of a sudden you find yourself going through the fast food line just to get some different flavors in your life. And although I enjoy keeping it simple with barbecue chicken, baked cod, and steamed rice and broccoli, it is nice to explore outside your comfort zone. Thankfully, we found an amazing company called HelloFresh, which provides meals built by a chef, includes all the ingredients you need, and has detailed instructions on how to cook the meals so they turn out perfect. You don't have to waste time running to the store and pray to Broden that they have those crazy ingredients. You won't see the expensive ingredients you paid an arm and a leg for slowly get moldy in the fridge only after one use, and you won't have to scrub through 7 different pages of ads to finally find the instructions for the recipe you found on some random food blog. So all in all, HelloFresh can make life a hell of a lot easier, and at the same time, you'll slowly learn how to cook like a Michelin star chef in your own kitchen. So go to HelloFresh.com and use our code 10BuffDudes to get 10 free meals, including free shipping.
How many times have you had so many things on your schedule, you find yourself choosing to do absolutely none of them instead? I like to use the put your big balls first method. Imagine you've got a glass and you've got to fill it with large balls, marbles, and finally sand. If you put the sand first, which are the little things like killing time on your phone, and then follow it by the marbles, which are slightly larger things like housework or hanging out with friends, and then finally, you put the big balls last, which are important things to use such as family, job, or even physical health. If you do it in this order, you'll find you cannot fit them all in. Yet if you do it in the reverse fashion, putting your big balls first and then the marbles and finally the sand, you'll find it works perfectly. Not only will you fit everything into your schedule, you'll find yourself a lot less stressed out as well, having accomplished all the important things with time to spare in order to relax and socialize.
Positive reinforcement. You're dumb, you're weak, you're pathetic. It doesn't feel too good now, does it? Yeah, how about this? You're awesome. You are great. You can accomplish anything you've ever dreamed of because you are you. Amazing. Positive reinforcement can be one of the most important tools you can use to stay happy, healthy, and productive. And one of the ways to achieve that is to make sure you surround yourself with positive people. They'll help you stay strong when you feel weak, build you up when you are down, and never let you feel guilty for your accomplishments. Another person who can be even more important to keep you positive is yourself. It's too easy to fall into the habit of telling yourself, it's not possible, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. Now, doing this will only reinforce the negatives in your life and let you continue to slowly slip into an unproductive, negative life. Now, there's a funny skit on SNL where a guy named Stuart Smalley looked at himself in the mirror and says, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Now, it might sound silly, but that's the kind of thing you need to practice, a positive mantra. So like George McFly once said, who was actually quoting his own son that traveled back in time and had to save his parents' relationship because his own mom fell in love with him after her dad hit him with a car and found out his dad was a peeping Tom and suffered from low self-esteem and needed the encouragement and positivity to punch Biff in the face, saving his mom, and in turn, having the confidence to write his sci-fi novel. Believe in yourself and you can accomplish anything.
Me and Brandon constantly refer to a quote we heard years ago whenever we're having a really bad day. And the quote goes loosely like this. When you're going about your day and you run into
a mean person,
they're probably
a mean person.
When you run into two
mean people
throughout the day, you run into two
mean people.
When you run into the third
mean person
on the same day, maybe you're the
mean person.
It's surprising just how much your world can change when your world view changes. If you wake up thinking, God, I missed my alarm and my workout, it's going to be such a miserable day. Well, then you've already begun to set down the negative building blocks which will help to construct that viewpoint and make it a reality. You think it's going to be a miserable day, and through your actions, you're probably only going to help solidify that view. Being grumpy to other people, using a quick temper, and generally just being that one dude everyone wants to avoid. And guess what? Your viewpoint will be validated once you get that same negative energy sent back your way, with your brain saying, see, I told you it was going to be a miserable day. Now, take it back a bit and imagine waking up late, having missed your alarm, but instead of condemning yourself, you go with a positive attitude. Using that more positive attitude isn't a foolproof way of guaranteeing you'll always have productive days, but it does give you a major boost in confidence. And chances are that confidence is going to be noticed by others around you, leading to healthier relationships, better experiences at school or work, and future opportunities. Instead of just unproductively thinking life and everyone in it is always trying to hold you back. There you go, dudes and girls. One day in the life of a productive and unproductive mindset. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to rid myself of my evil, lazy doppelganger and shave this mustache. It's a new year, and I've got some productivity to partake in. Until then, stay buff. Yeah. Goodbye, old friend. It's time to get motivated. Yeah.
Hey, honey.
Huh?
It's 7 a.m.
What? I slept in. But I shaved my mustache.
Well, Brandon had his mustache and he was motivated.
You're right. So it was never the mustache at all. It was the stocking cap.